What is going on, everybody? Thank you for tuning in, because today what we're gonna do is take one lick and we're gonna make it sound like 5. So we all have licks that we use all the time, and sometimes it's nice to be able to apply the same techniques and patterns and sequences into just like a different sounding version of the same thing. So now I will be, of course, providing tabs for you for this lesson over on my website. That link is down below. You can also pick up lesson packs on alternate picking, legato, that kind of stuff. I have a new one coming out, hopefully in a week or two, and you guys will be seeing that very soon as well. But let's go ahead and get started on this one. We're going to take a simple idea, twist it and turn it and take it all over the place, and we'll have you rocking in no time. But first, I'd like to thank our sponsor today. So today's video is brought to you none other than Mute Mute. For people who have string noise and just want to clean it up, Mute Mute is for you. Alright, so let's go ahead and dive right into this one. Now I'm going to show you the initial lick that we're going to take and that we're going to be altering, but I'm going to show you the technique that I'm using too as far as picking, because it stays basically the same throughout all of them. There is one that we're going to go from A minor to B minor, but that's not because I'm trying to trick you, which is also, that could be a 6th tip, just change keys, but I just need a little more real estate on that fingerboard to kind of show you exactly what I want to do. Now here is the initial lick that we're going to be doing. Nothing too crazy. So what am I doing here? Slow, it's just... So I start with it down here. I go 8, pull off 5 on the high string. Then I go to the B string, 8 to 5. Which is up, down, so it's all alternate so far. Then I hammer back on to 8. So then I go to 5 on the high E. So now that 5 is an up. So I go. And to me that just worked. I think it has a nice dynamic feel to it with some of those hammer-ons in there. And what I'm going to do to change it now, to start off with, is I'm just going to move in the scale. I know it's very easy to get comfortable in one spot and kind of be stuck and planted. So what we want to do is we want to get used to moving this lick around. So we're going to keep it in the same scale, A minor. So what am I doing here? I'm simply moving from box 1 pentatonic into box 2. So now I'm doing all the same stuff, but I'm using frets 10 and 8. So it's like 10 pull off 8, 10, 8 picked on the B, hammer on 10, and then 8 on the high. Shifting up again, now I'm into box 3. Now I'm going to be going like this. So I'm simply going 12, pull off 10, 13 to 10 on the B, which is picked, hammer back on to 13, and then 10 on the high. So already this lick is sounding different. For my right hand, it feels exactly the same. Another thing, kind of getting used to maybe using some different fingers, it's really not that difficult to instantly just jump into this new kind of sound. You can keep going. Look, right back where we started. Alright, now example number 2 here, we are not going to ditch the pentatonic scale just yet. Now, before we were going to strings that were next to each other. You know, now the next tip to kind of make the technique sound different, which is a little bit more challenging, but I think if you practice it, you can get it pretty simply, is changing strings. I shouldn't say changing, but skipping strings. So instead of just going from the high E to the B, we're actually going to cut the B out of the equation here, and we're going to go from high E to the G. Okay? Now, picking, look, it is exactly the same. Now, it is a little bit of a task to get used to hopping over that string. Okay. Once you get used to it, it gives you this real wide interval of a sound here. So when we're going like this, so listen, this one to me sounds kind of small. Here's the other one. Hear that? You get the different, like, the dynamics of both those strings in there. So what I'm doing here is I'm going 8 pull off 5 on the high E again. Now I go to the G, which is 7 pull off 5. Hammer on 7, so then I go back to the high string, which is 5. Now I should note on all these I'm adding quite a bit of palm muting. I mute the strings a lot when I'm playing. And that just helps get rid of all that string noise that you can get, especially when you're skipping strings. There's even more opportunity for those strings to ring out. So that's what I'm doing. And obviously you could change this one even more so, you know, in lots of different ways, but we'll just stick that one for now. So example number 3, that's the way to be. Now we are going to be changing scales on you this time, so this is definitely going to make it sound different than the initial idea, but again the technique stays the same. So we're going to venture into harmonic minor land. If you do not know that scale, don't worry about it. This might be a great introduction into the scale for you, because this is what the lick that we're going to be working with is. Ooh, I like it already. It's not quite sounding the same. So what am I doing here? Well, like I said, for one, I've switched scales. If you don't know your harmonic minor scale, definitely go look that one up. It's a great scale to have. You know, you can just take your Aeolian, raise that 7, and you've got harmonic minor. Now, when you play through this one, though, what you want to do is this, because we're going to use all 4 fingers now. We're going to be going 8 pull off 7 on the high E. Then you're going to go to the B string, which will be 10 9, which is picked. Now you're going to have to go from 9 hammer on to 10. So that can be kind of awkward hammering on, but this is a great strength builder for that ring finger to pinky. And then you go 7 on the high E. And again, my right hand, all these are, it's like no challenge for your right hand once you get that initial concept down. It's just your left hand, so that kind of takes one hand out of the equation. It makes learning stuff like this much easier. And you know, you could apply stuff from the first example of just simply moving it around in your scale. So this can be taken a lot of different directions. But there's your next one. That is out of a harmonic minor. So example number 4 is going to be kind of like a double one, because I'm also changing keys, which would of course make the lick sound good, but I'm also going to be playing the lick in octaves, and that's why I'm changing keys here, just so like I said, I can have a little bit more room on here. But versus just thinking about moving to different areas of the scale, skipping strings, we can keep the exact same notes there, but we're just going to be moving them down in octaves. So what I'm talking about is this. I'll play it slow first, and then I'll kind of speed it up here. So we're going like this. I know it is a little bit more challenging for a right hand, but again, the technique is the same because we're just doing the same thing. Just moving down the string. So what has happened? Well, the first one starts saying, like I said, we have changed keys to B, and we're going to be going from 10 now, pull off the 7. Then you're going to go 10, 7 on the B, which is picked. Hammer back onto that 10, and then 7 on the high E. Now, what we're doing is moving down an octave, so we're going to shift down. It's the same overall shape, so we're going to be going 7, pull off the 4 now. And you're going to go to the D string, which would be 7, 4. 4. Move it down again, and now we're at our lowest octave that we have. And this is just really going from 5 to 2 on the A. Of course, then the same thing on the low E. So have no fear, number 5 is here. And how are we going to make this lick sound different again? Well, we're not going to change it at all, actually. And what am I talking about? We are going to be changing what's happening around it to make it kind of sound like it's changing a little bit. So this might not be like the most perfect example for this thing, but it'll work just fine as it is. A song that comes to my mind right away is like For Whom the Bell Tolls by Metallica. So you have Kirk playing that little lead part in the beginning, and James is changing those riffs around and the chords behind it, and it kind of makes it sound like, you know, Kirk is doing something a little bit different. So this is a great way to, if you have like a lick that you really like, sometimes just change the chords around it, and you get this overall movement of the song versus just simply changing the lick all the time. So here's what I'm talking about. So what did I do here exactly? So rhythm aside, what I was playing was basically just, you know, 4 simple chords. They were just power chords actually. So I did an A5, and I went to a C5, G5, and D5. Now you can put whatever rhythm you want, which also affects the way the lick will sound. Obviously there's lots of variations you can do with that, but like I said, the lick stays the same, and it's the riff that's moving around it. It's a very simple songwriting technique. And like I said, this might not have the most dramatic effect with this particular lick, but it is certainly an idea to take with you. Alright, hey everybody, that is it for the lesson. Hope you enjoyed that one, got something out of that lesson a little bit, and just a fun ideas to take this and kind of twist and turn them around and stuff like that, like I said before. So other than that, like I said, make sure you grab those tabs below in the description. I will be seeing you all next time. Check out some other videos if you want to, and hit that subscribe button. High five. Peace out, homies.